Hey, what is up guys? GuitarRock here, welcome back to another Zenless Zone 0 video. Let's talk about version 2.2. As you can see, the two new character highlights are going to be, of course, Seed and Orphie and Magus right here, right? So of course, Oboe Squad is going to make a comeback. And this is going to be pretty much a highlight of what's the important thing that happened in the stream earlier today. First things first, if you guys haven't used the coupon code, please use it ASAP. It's going to be Oboe Squad right here. So very simple, straightforward code. There's only one code for Zenless Zone 0 because it straight up gives you 300 polychromes as opposed to splitting it into 3 and 100 polychromes each, right? So that's going to be how it is. As you guys can see, Seed and Orphie is looking really cool, looking really insane. So let's jump into the highlight of this particular video. We're going to be focusing on the characters themselves. Alright, so first things first, if you guys are not aware, we're going to talk about Seed first because she is going to be the more important one. So as you guys can see right now, Seed is an electric attacker. Alright, and initially my impression on her was, I was a little bit worried that she is going to basically replace all the other electric attackers, including S and B. But it seems like right here in this particular role, you can see they are basically using her much more as a sub DPS as opposed to be a main DPS. So let's show you guys a little bit right here.
In combat, she selects the attack character with the highest attack stat as her partner, or as she calls it, her vanguard.
So basically, she will be able to buff another character in that team. So even though she's an attacker herself, she has one more partner that she can buff, and in that case, the other attacker, they are using a Soldier SNB right here. Vanguard immediately enters direct strike and besiege states. All damage dealt by agents in the besiege state is increased. When the agent is switched off field, the besiege onslaught or direct strike state will persist for a period of time.
When the Vanguard
very cool.
unleashes an EX special attack,
so this is going to be unique.
Enters the onslaught state, increasing her attack and
so that is going to be the state right there.
Crit damage. When Seed uses an EX special attack,
okay,
her Vanguard will enter the direct strike state, increasing their attack and crit damage.
So basically, you can see right there, Seed just gotta use her EX skill, and then the Vanguard, in this case, the main DPS, is going to get the attack boost, right?
Onslaught and direct strike states are active at the same time. Seed and her Vanguard can additionally trigger the besiege effect. This effect further increases both characters' damage, making their coordinated attacks even more overwhelming.
Wow.
In addition, the energy Seed and her Vanguard spend while fighting on the front lines will be used to replenish Seed's max steel charge.
So as you can see, her entire concept is a little bit different. She doesn't serve as a main DPS. She's there to complement one more attacker in that particular team, right? So I do like this concept overall because I think there's too many main DPS we already have in the game. Something like a sub DPS or an off-field DPS, that's going to be something more rare, and I think Seed is going to be able to deliver that particular one in this particular regards. So if you can see right now in this particular this team that they are using, usually they try to showcase the best team, and I feel like this is going to be the best team for Seed. Of course, you have SNB, you got Seed, and then you got Astrayal, so that you are going to enable the switching between those two even better.
Frequency electric damage while restoring steel charge.
So I think this is going to be as good as it gets. Make it for like a very quick swap style of playstyle, right?
Burst of damage, they'll also replenish steel charge for Seed's next steely punch.
Most of the time, Seed is quite the reliable partner.
Ooh.
And other
So, all in all, just to let you guys know that the intention from the developers at least is to, you know, make Seed some sort of like secondary DPS rather than a main DPS. So she's going to be there complementing another attacker that you have. Now, that's going to be dependent on who do you have in your particular team, right? Now, one character that I can think of is going to be, of course, Soldier SNB right there. And one more is going to be a Harumasa as well. Now, I'm not sure if Harumasa is going to pair really well with her, but that's going to be ideally the case because ideally you want to put like kind of a two same element, especially if you're trying to attack or try to defeat a boss of that same element, particularly electric in this particular case, right? So I think that's going to be pretty cool. Now, surprisingly, Orphie and Magus is going to
The
have
S-rank fire attack agent,
the similar
Orphie
concept
and
as well,
Magus have
which
even greater coordination.
kind of confuses me a little bit. So Orphie and Magus, what is she
When
about?
teammates
She's a
attack
fire
enemies,
attacker,
Orphie and Magus
similar
will use their
concept,
special attack to
alright?
aid them and accumulate
So
bottled
she
heat.
is going to
With enough energy, they'll use their EX
pretty
special
much
attack to
serve
support teammates
as
while gaining
a
bottled heat.
support for her
Note
teammates
that
as well.
When bottled heat reaches a certain threshold, you can hold EX special attack.
So there are a lot of speculation of players saying that you gotta pair Orphie together with Seed, but I feel like that's only true if Seed is the main DPS. But in this case, it seems like both Orphie and Seed is going to be an off-field DPS or like a secondary DPS in that particular regards, right? So you can see S and B is still right here being showcased
Captain
alongside with
Magus
Orphie.
consume bottled heat and fire a continuous laser forward, which grows even more powerful after a while.
Yep,
While
so that's going to
firing
be
the laser,
as good as it
parry enemies
gets.
directly and increase power while becoming invulnerable.
Defeating the enemy requires the most efficient tactics.
So let's move forward a little bit and showcase her full capability right here in this particular team showcase, right? So they have Trigger alongside with SNB and of course alongside with Orphie in that particular
With
regards.
Orphie and
So
Magus
they are
supporting
all
from the
in the
set
three
lines while
same
building up
team.
bottled heat.
And I do
After
like
getting
the
enough
concept
bottled
of
heat, bring Orphie and
Orphie
Magus
as a
back to the
whole,
field to
because
unleash their laser beam,
her
scorching
ultimate,
enemies
alright,
continuously
this is going to
and
be,
sending the
so this one is going to be her regular skill, right? Basically you are going to shoot from her tail during this period, and it does seem like the boss can still hit you, alright? If there's multiple enemies in the map, there's a chance that you can still be stunned in some situation. So you gotta be very careful with that particular one. One more thing is going to be her ability or her ultimate in this particular case. So this is going to be her ultimate, right? So her ultimate is going to be pretty cool, very similar to Bernice. Alright, Bernice has the same concept as well. So basically while she's firing the shots continuously to the enemy, you have your main DPS go in and do the damage, so therefore you get like 2 instances of damage happening at the same time. Now, as much as I love Bernice, she has pretty much been replaced or sort of being, in most cases, if you have Vivian, Vivian pretty much replaces Bernice in a lot of team comps, right? So I think Bernice is still going to be decent, Bernice is still going to be strong if you have her, but Vivian is still going to, it's just straight up better in most cases. Now, that's not to say that you know, you cannot use Bernice anymore. Also, because in this case, Orphie's concept is so similar to Bernice, it does give me the impression that there's a chance that she could be replaced as well in the future. It's hard to say, but as an off-field DPS, right now it seems like both Seed and Orphie and Magus is going to have, you know, is going to have that particular role in them. So you gotta decide properly based upon who do you actually need, which element do you actually need, right? One is electric, one is going to be fire. So let's talk about the banners then. This is going to be the most important one, but first things first, before before we move on, something that they did mention throughout in the story, very important. So let's listen very carefully what they have to say right here, right? This is going to be something that I want you guys to hear carefully.
Soldier.
In addition, as an exemplary soldier, Ambi is currently undergoing
Ambi is currently undergoing intense confidential training.
intense confidential training. I have no doubt that Soldier Zero Ambi will soon activate her inner potential.
So it mentions here, Soldier Zero Ambi will soon activate her inner potential. So that gives me a very, you know, strong belief. At first I thought, wait, is this just in the story? Like, are they like, is she going to get stronger in the story? No, I think this is a hint from the developers to the players that they are going to buff Soldier Zero Ambi, because they are being very specific towards Soldier Zero NB, because if they are going to just say in the story, they're just going to say NB, right? They won't specify Soldier Zero NB specifically. So Soldier Zero NB is probably going to get buffed, and she's probably going to be stronger. Now there's a chance that when that happens, in that particular case, do you really need Seed, right? So you gotta ask yourself as well. Soldier Zero NB is an electric attacker. Seed is also going to be another similar role, and then you get Orphie and Magus, another fire. That's going to be something that we have to, you know, as players, you guys have to decide a little bit. So one more thing to keep in mind is we're gonna have the new Bangbu right here. This is Mr. Mercury. New Bangbu exclusive to this particular one. I'm not sure what's the requirements for this particular Bangbu, but it do be looking cool. So let's talk a little bit about the banner, because I think that's going to be the important one. So we got Seed in the first half. Orphie is going to happen in the second half. So of course with the specific W engine. But of course with also the reruns, we are going to have Trigger in the first half. So Trigger is going to appear at the same time alongside with Seed. So you gotta decide, should you pull for Trigger or Seed in the first half? And then of course in the second half, we are going to have Evelyn. Now, I'm a big fan of Evelyn. I think Evelyn is a very, very strong character. If you do not have Evelyn yet, depending on how strong Orphie and Magus is, I think Evelyn is still going to be the better character overall, because of if you're talking about in the place of the fire attacker, we only have 2 fire attacker in the game right now, alright? So that's going to be Evelyn and Soldier 11. And Evelyn is by far going to be the most meta out of them all, right? You can't deny that. She's like probably 1 tier behind Miyabi and behind Yisuen, but she's pretty close. If you have a W engine, then she can even do even more damage. But one thing to keep in mind is she doesn't really need it. Like personally, as somebody that's not using her exclusive W engine, I think she's doing fine with Brimstone, right? So here's the thing about Evelyn versus Orphie. Both are going to be fire attacker, so you gotta really decide who do you really want, right? So do you really want Orphie, which is much more of a sub DPS character, it seems like, or do you want like a main DPS, which is going to be Evelyn? Now if you already have Ezreal, I think Evelyn is still going to be meta as a whole. I think that Evelyn is going to be a better pull, in my opinion, right now, right? So I might change my mind later on once I see how Orphie performs, but that's going to be something that we'll know later. But this is going to be pretty much what it is. We're going to have a free A rank Bamboo as well. And one important thing that I want to bring up is going to be, all of these are going to be the event exclusive stuff. So I'm not going to jump into it. But a very, very important thing moving into the next version is the power creep, specifically for the disk drive. So let's see if I can find that particular one. We are going to have a new boss as well. Let's see if I can show it. This particular boss. So this is a cool looking boss, alright? So that huge, that massive. I think this is looking as good as it gets. And the last thing that we can talk about moving into the meta is going to be the disk drives. Now as you can see, we got 2 disk drives going on. One is going to be Dawn's Bloom, one is going to be Moonlight Lullaby. Now this one seems to be a very insane, by far the best support boost, you know, W engine. I mean, not W engine, disk drive. Why did I say W engine? Disk drive, right? Look at this. Energy regen 20%. Support character, okay, it only works for support characters. If your support character use EX skill or ultimate, right? Damage dealt by all squad members increased by 18% for 25 seconds. Again, insane massive value right there. 18%. That is just straight up a big damage increase, alright? Repeated triggers reset the duration. Passive effects of the same name do not stack. Now, this is better than Astral Voice in my opinion. Now, you can still stack both, right? Depending on how you are planning to do it. But keep in mind, you cannot use this on anyone that's not a support character. So it has to be somebody that's a support character like Ezreal, Yuzuha, and of course like a few others like Lucy definitely going to use this, and of course Nicole, right? So I am looking forward to farm a bunch of these sets for sure. This is going to be the most broken set. Now, too bad you cannot use this on somebody like Ju Fufu, for example, because she's a stunner, and then like Pan Yin Hu, defense character. You can't use this for somebody like Caesar as well, which are a little bit underwhelming, right? It does place somebody like Nicole and Sokaku at a higher tier, right? So Caesar is going to be a little bit behind because we are not going to be able to benefit from this, which is going to be a little bit unfortunate. But regardless, this particular one, Dawn's Bloom, however, basic attack increase, and when this is equipped by an attack character, you are going to get your special EX special or ultimate increase your basic attack damage by a lot. So characters that relies a lot on basic attack damage will be able to benefit from this, right? So we are talking about something like Zuyuan. I'm not sure about Harumasa, but I think Zuyuan is going to be there, and maybe Soldier 11. Evelyn might not be able to use this as much because she's much more of a chain attack and like a special attack kind of character. And a few others, definitely those are not going to be super useful for them. But yeah, this disk drive is going to be what it is moving forward. Definitely it's going to change a lot of things. And I think that's pretty much it for the meta stuff, eh? Outside of the special collaboration with Razer that they have, you know, Black Widow, special keyboard, special mouse, etc, etc. That's pretty much what it is, right? That is pretty much what we're going to have for this particular version of version 2.2. We are going to get a new main story though, so stay tuned for that if you guys are looking forward to the main story. So let me know what you guys think of this particular these drive sets, and also like the banner overview. I don't think I'll be pulling for Trigger. My personal plan is I will probably get I will definitely get Seed, so that's going to be my plan for now. Focus on getting Seed for now, and then I'll see how it goes, right? If, you know, like for me, if Orphie and Megas is not that useful, or I don't think I need her as much, then maybe I'll just consider skipping her. For now, I think, you know, we can also wait for the drip marketing for version 2.3 as well, because there's like rumors in hand that we're gonna have a bunch of very exciting characters soon. Alright, so with that being said, that's gonna be it for this video. Subscribe if you guys haven't already. Give this video a like. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a nice day. Goodbye.